And we are live.
We're live.
We're live.
We're live. Yay.
You are. No, you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this subpar episode.
We're already subpar.
Starting
Special,
off
a very
great.
special live little video of live event here on Crept from the 80s. As you know, or maybe don't know, this is also a channel for our film exploits. This year, I am celebrating 30 years of filmmaking, starting low budget pictures in 1991, and also the 10th anniversary of Warlock home video, which is also insane.
I didn't know that was actually 10 years. Like,
Isn't that
Yeah, 2011, right?
2011?
When we started shooting, well, it was like Barbecue and Death a Lantern.
Yeah, we stopped
It's crazy.
LBP and went right into Warlock. Pretty weird, because it seems like literally yesterday we were shooting these silly movies for Warlock. Interesting, yeah. You know, but I was telling Casey in the beginning, like, really, it's 35 years of Warlock home video.
Right, technically.
Yeah, and all those early titles. Oh my gosh, 35 years. My goodness. You know.
I'm just putting everything out on the socials. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Game Swap. That's amazing. Congrats on 30 years of filmmaking, guys.
Thank you.
We don't look a day over 15. I know it's well.
So yes, I was 14 when I started LBP. I had been making movies, like backyard silly shit, since I was 7 in 84, getting a video camera, the family video camera, but I stole, and ultimately broke. And they kept buying video cameras. I would assume because they saw that, okay, this is, he really is interested in this, you know, so they kept doing it. But believe me, they did try to get me to be a normal kid and bribe me to do sports and all that stuff. And I was like, no.
You weren't having it.
I did it.
Oh, you did?
You ran.
Yeah.
He ran high school track.
Yeah, I was the top. I was the, what do you call that? I guess like the best long jumper in Wellsville on the track team. On the track team, yeah.
The things I am learning today, and I've known you forever.
Because we don't talk about that
Gooch
stuff.
says, "What up, guys?"
Hello,
What up, Gooch?
Anyway, so yes, 1991, starting low budget pictures, putting a name to it, and deciding that, you know what, maybe I should write write characters and write things for these people to say, instead of just throwing stuff out, which I was still doing as well. But I think at 14, I really was like, I'm not turning back. This is exactly what I want to do. I've been doing it, and now I just want to do it on a, quote unquote professional level.
You found your passion at a young age.
Well, but I think I knew even then, even when I was 7, I think I knew, like, man, this is, because I said to my mom, this is what I want to do. I think I want to do this, after seeing Nightmare on Elm Street. So yeah, it just, at that time, up to low budget pictures, and Casey knows this, but it was under, like, it was called Seaver Torok Productions, because it was my buddy Kyle Torok and I who were really, like, embracing the video camera and the buffoonery that we could do with our chums, with our school chums, and all that stuff. So the first wave of what became LBP was really started with me and Kyle, me and this dude Brad Goff, Dave Schweigert, Jesse Green, Yeah, those Brad Jadwin, Brad Austin, who is still here, still with us. So that yeah, and after the Kyle Torok thing, which was also, I don't know if you know this, Meredith, but in the early stuff that I was doing, I would always put the New Line Cinema logo in front of because I
Nice.
love New Line Cinema so much.
Mhm.
I just thought it was a rad logo, and of course it was the house that Freddie built, and you know, cool stuff was coming from them, and I just was like, man, I would love to make movies for New Line Cinema. Yeah,
Do you
so
still feel that way?
no.
How things have changed.
Yeah.
M Honey Cut says, "Screw Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. This is the Holy Trinity." You're right.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. That's why I wanted you guys on here, really, because who out of the history has the most history? It's you two, you know.
Game Swap says, "I think creative minds always know from the start what they want to do. Let the creative thoughts out."
You would hope so.
Chicken Wizard says, "What's up, LBP and Warlock buddies?"
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, guys. So joining me, of course, is my cousin Casey Bowker,
Yeah.
who I've known since he was a baby.
A wee babe.
For people who do not know, yes, Casey is my cousin.
I feel like we say it enough that people should know.
You know, but I think people don't buy it. I don't know. I think people buy it, they're just so like confused by it, you know. But no, our fathers, our brothers.
Yeah.
And so we're cousins.
AKA cousins.
Same blood running through our veins. But so, and Casey, I brought into the fold early on. He was a teenager, and you know, slowly but surely, Casey became a very integral part of Low Budget Pictures, and of course, he became the infamous Teen Ape.
Yeah.
Known the world over.
Mostly in Eastern Europe.
He's huge in Russia.
Yeah.
Giant.
Putin loves Teen Ape.
Well, he's he modeled some things. He modeled some things after Teen Ape. And then also, I would say, even more infamous, Meredith Host is here. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
No, Meredith. So Meredith has been with us since 2002, and not only is she an actress in the films, but she is also, given us all her body. And
Not true. Not true.
But she was an extremely integral part to Low Budget Pictures, becoming sort of, I guess, the AD, script supervisor, everything, really.
Juggling the jobs.
Yes, she was like I guess the den mother in a way to keeping this all on track. And just like, a huge part of Low Budget Pictures. Certainly early on when we sort of started getting more attention. She was coming right in there when things were hot, things were really moving with the group. And
I feel like you've always said that it's like around 2002 kind of started a new wave of
it totally did
people.
Yeah.
So
totally did. Yeah. Absolutely. Like the it's funny. The second wave really wasn't very long, and
Oh, we're the third wave.
oh yeah,
Is that what we are? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
yeah, the third wave. Third wave. I just use the wave thing because it's just the ska wave and all that stuff, and
Oh, totally.
it just seems
It's fitting.
yeah, it is very fitting.
Sean, what up, Sean? He says,
Sean,
"Hey everyone."
hello, Unboxing.
Hey.
He's here. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the history of all this stuff, and hopefully all you guys who are joining us will have some questions for everyone, and we will do our best to answer them, and we'll drop little nuggets of things that are happening for the 30th anniversary of LBP.
Chicken Wizard says Teen Ape and Heather rock. He's right.
You do.
Thank you.
So Meredith, for I would say probably for the old school LBP fans, people will know as Heather from the Heather and Pugly saga.
Heather Bagliadoci.
Heather Bagliadoci. And I guess to an extent, Jill.
Jill also, yep.
And even you real gross fans out there, D'Artagnan from the Filthy McNasty films.
Yeah.
I was about to say, don't forget her.
I can't forget her.
She's wild.
She is one of my favorite things you've played, for sure.
100%. I agree with it.
Because once you get under that makeup, Meredith,
your true colors come out.
Yeah,
It's like when I put on the Teen Ape mask. It all goes.
I can't even do the voice unless I am in it.
Yeah, and I think that's true. You really like become that weirdo,
Yeah.
M Honeycutt says MVB. Loves
Cat
you.
eyes.
Yeah.
Game Swap says, I would like to know what character each of your favorite to play in the films. And we can, while you're thinking about that, Sean says, wow, in the presence of greatness.
Why, thank you.
Sean's really a huge fan of our movies.
Yes.
He's a really good dude, and he has played a cameo. He's been in he drove up from Virginia, and
thanks, Sean.
He and his wife, and they were in a Stoinkmare on Halloween Street.
Okay,
nice.
I was like, where was I? Not there for that one.
Yeah, he played Maceo.
And was his wife in the GAC?
We were all at the GAC, but he was Maceo.
Oh, okay.
Maceo was stuck in the GAC for sure. Okay, so why don't you go first, Casey? Who was your favorite character to play in all of LBP? Let me just say this real quick, guys. Also, both Meredith and Casey are the longest running people in the films. Meredith is the longest, and Casey is right behind her.
Well,
you mean like
not longest,
but
amount
of movies that they've done.
But he's been around longer.
Yeah.
You knew him since he was a wee babe.
I've been acting in Chris's films since he had a camera. Matt Brassfield says he's Game Swap.
Oh, hey, Matt.
Hello. He just texted me. Hey, Matt. Hi. I didn't know that, man. Awesome. Brassfield.
So
long time no see.
Meredith has done 30 films with us. And Casey, I believe, is like 27 or 28. He's like right behind Meredith.
I better.
I thought she did more.
I did too, but then
I thought she was at like
it was
36 or something.
No.
I thought it was like 33, but
I thought it was 33, and then I went through again, and I was like, oh, I did, yeah.
You got all the like weird little things that nothing ever came of.
I mean, I don't add like that thing that we did that didn't really happen. You know what I mean? Remember that? It was
what one?
It was before we shot Bloody Giblets.
No, you cut me out of that. It was the slumber party cheerleaders There was a geek gang as a part of that movie originally.
Did we shoot?
And we shot one scene.
Oh, okay.
And then you changed it, and I wasn't in it. It was like me and remember Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay, I'm just telling you who was there.
Yeah. And then we did Bloody Giblets.
And then we did Bloody Giblets.
Yeah. Okay. So
it was right after Apartment 22.
But I certainly remember that.
Well, I mean, it didn't count because, I wasn't actually in it. So.
Yeah. But I think I got everything. So regardless, you're beating everybody.
I'm like, it's gotta be more.
Awesome.
He's right behind you. So out of all those films, out of the plethora of cinema, of videotape you guys were on, Casey, what has been your favorite character to play?
Well, just real quick, Sean says he's in West Virginia, by the way.
West Virginia.
He had a blast on the shoot. And Brassfield says, love you guys like family. We love you. We missing you, Brassfield.
Brassfield, I've invited you so many times to come up.
He'll come up.
You gotta come up. Join the
Maybe we need a Werewolf of Ohio cameo.
That's right.
From New York.
The Werewolf of
It's a new franchise he's starting here. So yeah, it's definitely Teen Ape because I hate not wearing a mask or being under makeup. I hate playing myself, quote unquote. I don't think I'm an actor or anything. I don't like watching myself on camera ever. Even stuff, I do now. I hate watching myself. I watch it for editing purposes. So yeah, I like Teen Ape and I can separate myself because I know I'm not. There's some of me in Teen Ape, but I'm not Teen Ape. So, and that's the other thing, because we've been doing this a long time and we've met a lot of fans and a lot of people think that we're like those characters. And it sometimes is a little more humbling to the fans when we're not characters and we don't act like we're on, Fruity Pebbles and cocaine all the time, which is like what the LBP verse is like. So, but as far as, just playing, it's definitely Teen Ape. He's just a blast to play. Or at least he was for a long time.
For a while.
What about you, Meredith?
Well, I'm having a hard time actually pinpointing one. I do have a special place in my heart for what just happened. Did something weird happen?
No, I meant to hit mute and then it just
okay.
did me. Go on.
Okay, sorry, I got distracted. We'll do it live. All right. So I have a special place in my heart for Heather, just because there's been so many times that she's been around. And I feel like she kind of evolves through them, which is nice. But I am not like her. I don't think.
No, you are not.
Fairly snotty, kind of a jerk face. I also like kind of more of the happy-go-lucky adventurer that is Jill. And honestly, like being behind a mask or being in weird makeup is a little bit freeing, exactly like what you said, Casey. I also would not call myself an actor. It's not really something
I don't think any one of us would.
I'm never going to
maybe
claim
Desiree.
that. Yeah, not.
Or Billy.
Oh, yeah. Right.
But absolutely. And I tell that people all the time. I'm like, they haven't. This is what they're not actors, We're
not like getting other
these
parts and other things.
who jump in, and happen to be fantastic,
Well, thanks. I question that, but
very lucky, very lucky. Oh, and what's really fun though, is seeing some of you guys develop through the films, from your first thing to
oh god,
to where
I cringe.
Ended up. I love seeing that, and it's leaps and bounds. Certainly from Heather from 2002 to Heather 2004.
Right.
Absolutely. And you were, I mean, I remember your determination for Drop a Deuce. And
Yeah.
really like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it right. And I'm going to,
And I'm going to know my lines. But, the key to that was that we actually had the script beforehand versus Apartment 22 was like, show up and here's some lines and let me go write a little bit more so we can finish this thing. And first time on camera. However, there was a really special little moment during that, which I feel like made us all really love Heather and Pugly, was their scene on the baseball diamond.
Absolutely.
Like that's kind of like this made the duo, I feel like, live on. Or maybe that was, I always felt like that moment between the two of them was partly why you continued with them.
For sure. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I felt.
It was. I fell in love with those two. Like, and for a while, like I wanted nothing more than to write you two in everything,
right. Which you kind of did for a while.
For a while, yeah.
I mean, we are in, Mulva 2 and things that are not actually the Heather and Pugly series, they're still involved. I mean, Heather's in Deathbone. I mean, as a version of her, like.
Yeah.
It's not just the series.
Goes to camp.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's more. Can't think of them right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the you guys were really, you and Lauren the chemistry, the characters were, I don't know, it was instant for sure. And then I remember almost quitting Drop a Deuce, almost not doing it, and you fought me.
I did.
Yeah,
from the beginning, that's how we were.
You
apparently
were like a cheerleader for that movie. I remember you called me up, and you really like laid in. Like it wasn't
me. Just kidding.
It wasn't mean. It was a motivate. It was like, this is funny and we can do this, and I want to do it, and Chris, don't give up, like keep going, keep writing, and blah blah blah, and we did it. Oh,
so long ago.
It was.
Yeah.
So for me, my favorite character to play is Johnny Douchebag.
Not Jack DeQueef.
I like Jack DeQueef as well, but Johnny, I don't know. It's weird to say, but Johnny is so easy. It's so like, I just do it and it's easy. I love the teeth. I love the mannerisms. I love his attitude. Jack DeQueef is fun sometimes. Jack DeQueef is great if you really want to go nutso. I mean,
it's hard to not laugh around Jack DeQueef.
The complete absurdity of him and what he is, and that's cool. Bone Jack was good for a while, and then he wasn't. And then I got tired of it pretty quick. But for sure, I think Johnny Douchebag.
I agree. Let me catch up with the chat here. Matt Brassfield says, I promise I'll bring a cheesy mask, or the cheesy mask, which you should. M. Honeycutt says Phoebe and Death on the Lanterns in Dingleberries.
Phoebe.
I was just talking LBP, so
yeah.
Phoebe, I would kind of separate the two.
Phoebe is Jill, basically.
Yes, just in Warlock.
Yeah. Shout on Video Horror says, happy anniversary, guys. Congrats on so many years of Stinky Entertainment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Doink.
You got to get me on your show, SOV Horror. Come on.
Master of the 80s says hi.
Hello, Master of the 80s.
And October Nightmare says, Merritt does a great job in all your crazy movies. Congrats on all you've accomplished over the years. P.S. Watched a movie called Swamp Ape last night. A great, bad, good movie. Interesting.
Let's check that out.
Swamp Ape. He's no ski wolf.
I highly doubt it. Yeah.
So later this year, we are doing a reunion. It's really a reunion gash bash for the 30th anniversary of what we have done together as a group. And as many of us as we can, as safely as we can, everyone is coming together for this. And we are going to be celebrating what we've done. I am putting something fun together for everybody to see. We have a documentary that has been in the works for a couple years now, 2 years now. Jeez.
Well, and this one may for real actually happen.
Yeah. So
how many documentaries have there been through the years past?
This is
not including this one.
This is the fourth.
This is the fourth. Did anyone see the 3? No.
No.
So throughout the years, people have attempted to make documentaries about what we have done.
It's unfilmable. It's like making The Watchmen.
And they have failed. And
miserably.
I have also been very hesitant about the idea.
Yeah, you were fighting this one.
I was very protective of it.
Yeah.
And I'm protective of you guys. I'm just, you never know, because there's assholes out there, and there's assholes who hate us for no reason. They don't know us, but they hate us because of either rumors or people making shit up, or
I thought the rumors were true. I'm sorry. I've been spreading those rumors.
And they don't know us. It's just very bizarre. So you don't know people's intentions. It's like, what the fuck, And furthermore, it's like, as much as people enjoy the films and have seen the stuff, it's like I still very much think of us as just a group of friends who do this. And first and foremost, you're all my family, my buddies, and I don't think of us as anything other than who we are, and we get together occasionally to make these fun things. So I have a very hard time trying to grasp the idea of somebody wanting to get into what this is all about,
right? And
let other people see it, because there's a part of me who is very self-loathing, and I don't understand the appeal. So yes, it did take me a while, but this guy Zach brought it up, and I pushed back for quite a while, and actually some of the group did too, because I think they had the same idea of like this. I don't know. I don't know what's the angle here, and yes, and that it's like, really, like the
how much footage is there out there?
Yeah.
Like of
it's like, what are we gonna say? What is this all? I don't know. Is this real? Is this going to be another failure? Will the Seaver curse strike again? And so it did take months for me to give in. And luckily I got to know Zach, and I got to know his wife, and I got to know them as people. And the intentions became clear, and becoming friends with Zach, it became very clear that he really wanted to do this. He wanted to tell this story, and said yes, and we gave into it. And he spent money and a year of his life and
Probably another year getting it all
Probably
together.
more. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
And I am, I'm really intrigued.
So we're gonna see it.
We
in
are going to
July?
see this thing.
Okay.
All of us as a group, collectively.
Oof.
I would assume that this is going to be the first time, like he presents it as what it is, all done.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to want feedback, or are we supposed to be okay with it?
I think it's an okay. I think it's here it is.
This is it.
Not
changing. Okay.
Yeah. And beyond that, I really don't know what his plans are. I do know that he
isn't he gonna submit it to festivals?
He did say that, but he also, he already has like extras, for a eventual release of some kind. He's got like extra stuff for a disc.
I thought you meant like recreating scenes.
No,
he got
he got dramatizations.
No, but
there's a dude putting on a T-date mask and breathing heavy and being.
That would be hilarious.
That would be
I would
so
love
funny.
to see that, actually.
You got celebrity reenactments of all of us.
So yeah, I don't know. All I know is that for this 30th anniversary Gash Bash LBP thing, we are going to see this thing, which is exciting.
Yeah.
I'm nervous for him.
We're not going to be assholes about it. But
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
But I think I think he will want honesty for sure.
Yeah.
What I think coming from
I'm just curious what the storyline, how he's going to frame it so that it's interesting to someone who doesn't know of LBP at all. Yeah. Why is, other than people who already know might care about it, I think the challenge is going to be getting people who have never heard of it to think it's interesting.
And I think that's par for the course with any documentary, and certainly a documentary that is being put through the festival circuit.
Think about what was it, American Movie?
Yeah.
No one knew anything about those guys, but it was just a really interesting situation. So even my wife today was like, I find it so weird that you have fans and that there's this whole thing that exists.
My wife won't believe it.
Well, I mean, come on.
She always thinks that
you're making it up.
Every single fan we have.
Well,
and I'm like, I don't what. So we've got 5 fans.
So I think that's the thing is that when I think about this, if someone said, hey, I have a shot on video or whatever documentary about this filmmaker, I would watch it. You would watch it, Chris. You know what I mean? We would both, at least the horror community, I feel would be like, well, I want to see this. The shot on video community would definitely want to see this. So I think there's certain, avenues he can take where it's just an interesting story, despite the fact that you and I, Meredith, are both heavily in that story. Let me catch up on the chat for a second here.
Yeah.
Brassfield
says, will Ichabod Crane, Man of Action, ever see the light of day, aka be made?
No.
No?
No. In a way, I took a concept from that story and put it into Death of Land and the remake. I was
like, why is that name familiar?
And then I'm glad we didn't do it because Billy disappointed. Maybe at the time when we were first coming up with it and when Billy cared, we would have done something and he would have knocked it out of the park.
Could you do it without Billy?
I came up with the concept for Billy,
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's not something I would like to do now. That was then.
Over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got some other exciting things.
Which we'll talk about. Let me catch up on this chat though. M Honeycutt says H&P cameo in Ghoulish Tales.
I forgot about that.
What's Ghoulish Tales?
Well, Ghoulish Chronicles from Bone Jack High.
Oh,
There is a cameo from Heather and Pugly.
what?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Does that count the list? Did you count that?
I didn't.
I'm already in it.
Oh
Wait.
wait, no. Well, I mean, yes.
Well, she's in it.
I'm in it already.
Yeah. She's
Wait,
playing
there's a
Jill in
cameo?
it. There's like a scene where the trio of Mowgli, Stefan, and Jill are talking, and then and there's a camera pan or a camera cut, and then over at like the school lockers, Heather and Pugly are talking with somebody. Oh, they're talking to Matt.
Yeah. I remember
Oh
that.
my
I remember that.
God.
Talking to the maestro.
Yep.
What?
I remember that. Yeah.
It sounds vaguely familiar now. It
That's
was a long
fun.
time ago. That's cool.
I
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, I forgot we did that. That's fun. It's like that is. I mean, interconnecting tissue, man. I mean,
You know what will be good is next year when things are even more normal. It'll be 20th anniversary of Meredith, so we'll have to do something.
oh, for sure. I've already,
like we'll go visit or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
something will be done for sure.
yeah, maybe your house will be
Hopefully,
built.
the
and
house will
we
be
can-
done.
we can come visit the house actually.
Hopefully by the end of this year,
Yeah.
it'll be done. So
We'll be there on the 31st, going into the first of the new year. Because it wasn't in January. I remember it was really early on, right? Like that you met Meredith or no?
no, it was fall of 02.
Was it?
Because that's when I moved to Rochester.
Okay.
Yeah, I had been talking, I think, since the summer, bothering.
Really?
You. Yes, bothering you.
Yes, and then when I actually moved, then the phone calls began,
Yeah.
and the answering machine messages, and my roommates were like, "What is happening?
I'm sure.
Are you sure you want to hang out with us today?"
Sean says he came off as a tool as Maceo, I guess. I doubt it, Sean. I'm sure you were fine in it, man.
That's how we all feel about everything we do.
Yeah. 80s rewind the times 90s says, "Hey guys, hey Chris and Casey."
Hello. That's
who is that?
Whale.
Oh, is it?
Who Dat Whale. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is his channel. 80s rewind the times, 90s, 80s and 90s.
What up, man?
Channel on YouTube. Check it out.
Larry Shefford says, "Good to catch a live show.
Hello
Good to
there.
have you.
Please ask
here."
us questions. Look, it's Meredith.
Rewind. Who Dat Whale says, "Wanted to stop by and say hi. I got to run some errands for my son.
Check
Good
out
to see
this
you. Nice to see you, buddy."
Check out this sweet gift that Who Dat Whale sent me.
Oh, that's cool.
Whoa,
actually,
that's cool.
is that the game in the box?
No, I have the game.
No, I know, but that's
This is
neat.
an art piece.
Yeah.
It's like a 3D. It's like
Yeah.
in a shadow box. Cool.
It says, "Thank you for the shout out." Yeah, man. Check out your channel.
Oh.
Masters of the W universe. That's great.
I like
He's-
Becky Lynch.
He says, "Chris." Oh, that's cool. Thanks. Glad you like it, bud. Can we
Nope, there's more. Manny faces.
can we drop some sort of something? Can you sprinkle something? What are you
little nugget.
contractually obligated that you can share?
Okay, so some things were signed, yes, and some things are coming
That's what I mean.
from
It's
somebody,
NDA.
from a company this year that will, I think, please the new fans and the old fans.
You're awesome too.
There's some releases with there's some old releases that are coming nice and fresh with some new extras.
You dancing around this is hilarious.
That's just
It's like,
how-
what
rid-
can I get
I mean,
away
You
with
could just say
saying?
there's some movies that are coming out in
Yeah.
better in Blu-ray, right?
There's some stuff coming.
Yeah.
Um,
Re-releases, cleaned up, new extras
yes.
for the 30th
Things
anniversary.
that haven't been officially released, potentially.
Officially released, yeah.
Right, that's what I mean. Like,
one of the movies has never been officially released and is finally getting a Blu-ray release. And in addition to a Blu-ray release, also streaming release.
ooh,
Brand new
exciting.
extras.
Commando Kids. I can't believe it.
Finally.
Been waiting 30 years.
I mean, it just, if you are a fan and if you have stuck around for as long as you have, I think this year in general is pretty exciting. Because of the documentary, because of all this stuff that is being re-released and released on Blu-ray and things like that, and the 30th anniversary thing, and stuff will be shot at the 30th reunion that will be a part of
another release,
future releases. Yeah, it's just a lot of cool stuff. And two new things are being worked on. I have talked about both of them before. One, as you know, is called Radikill, and that is being worked on. But that's going to come later. The first thing we are doing is also something that has been marinating since shooting the Weirdsies. And that is a television show called Wellsville Nights. And it's a really cool, fun, ridiculous project that really we haven't attempted something like this before. But I think in a way it kind of fits the wheelhouse far more than movies do, in a way, just because of these short bursts of buffoonery that we're better at than long form, I think, as far as a movie is concerned. An LBP movie, you want to get in and out before you hit like 90 minutes.
90 would be
oh my
like,
God,
well,
put me
that's
to sleep.
Let's talk about
Death
60.
Note.
Yeah,
That's Death Note.
I know. And
Death Note is 90 minutes, and it suffers.
some of the scenes could be cut down
For sure. But I mean, like, I always felt that LBP is good when you get in and get out. And I'm very good at telling a story, a full, like, beginning, middle, and end.
In like 25 minutes.
Yeah, 60 minutes is great. 60 minutes is like breathing, you know?
Right.
And we have a lot of movies that are over 60 minutes,
Yeah.
you know? But I think this show is gonna lend itself beautifully to certainly how I write and how we operate. So Wellsville Nights, Casey and Clint and myself are developing this thing. We already have 4 seasons planned, and we know the theme of each season. But what's being written is the first season, and what's being shot is the pilot episode. And we hope to do something on a larger scale with it. That's gonna, there's some Crom.
We'll see what the fates decide.
Yes, Crom magic really needs to shine on us. But I think for me, regardless of what happens with it, I think if anything, I would honestly really love to to if it comes down to it, I would really love to do it ourselves, because I think the potential is so great. It's so funny. You know, I mean, people have homework for this.
I've been doing my homework already, and it is kind of rough, but it's good. It's funny.
Desiree, who is also a part of it, they've been doing their homework. Yeah, I'm really excited about it, and you guys know, Casey and Meredith, that when I'm excited about something,
the better shoot.
The better it is. The better it is for everybody. The better it is for the film.
Well, hopefully this enthusiasm continues until when we actually.
Clint and Casey and I are having a meeting next Sunday. For the read through or look through of the first script from me.
The pilot.
The pilot episode of Wellsville Nights. And
can you just tell them what it is, just so?
Okay, so Wellsville Nights, folks, is it's poking fun at soap operas, and more importantly, teen soap operas from the 80s and 90s. And I'm talking about Degrassi Junior High. I'm talking about a show called 15, that if you guys who love Nickelodeon know, it was a show on Nickelodeon that ran for 4 years. And to an extent, 90210. But it's going to be shot as old sitcoms or shows were. They were always shot to tape. They were shot with 3 cameras, and they were shot on a rotating stage. Rotating, I mean, you had, this was your stage for say your school set. And then you moved over, and this was your stage for the bedroom set and things like that. We're going to do that. We're also going to shoot live at places in Wellsville, New York, that are a part of the show, that I know that we can get easily, but shot on videotape as the shows were back then. And we're going to take it completely seriously. Seriously. As those shows were. I personally never went through some of the turmoil and pain that these kids go through on these shows in the 80s and 90s. I mean, it's ridiculous. As I've said to these guys several times, like, nobody is having fun in these shows. It seems like everyone is on the precipice of killing themselves. Because it's just so serious, and these kids are taking it so serious. So we will be 40-somethings playing 15-year-olds, taking it serious, but the subject matter and the dialogue is going to be classic Seavage, absurdity, weirdness. Yeah. It's going to lay off on some of the more perverted stuff. Yeah. This is more just pure bonksicity. It's bonkers. And that's what it is. So if you loved those shows, or if you hated them, they did exist, I think this show is going to appeal to you. It's going to irreverently poke fun at some of this stuff. And I truly love Degrassi Junior High, and to a lesser extent, Degrassi The Next Generation. I actually love those shows. I don't love 15, and boy, do I hate 90210. But you'll get it, you know. Hopefully, you'll get it. You'll understand the joke, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to see these people play these characters, and the stupid stories that we've come up with. So yeah, and then Radikill is after that. Radikill is something, again, I've been marinating under a different title for a long time. Everybody who knows the idea of the film, the theme of the film, really enjoys it, really thinks it's good, really thinks there's something there. And I've been picking away at it for a while. And at some point, Clint and I are getting together this year to really, truly map out Radikill. And hopefully we'll be able to do that next year. But right now, all full steam ahead on Wellsville Nights, and hoping to shoot the pilot at some point this fall. So we'll see. That's exciting stuff, folk.
It is very
It is.
exciting. Yeah, I'm super pumped.
This way of shooting the Wellsville Nights thing kind of, well, lends itself to when we shot PIA, when you were thinking of it as like 3 episodes that would come together for like a full length.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the original thing? Was it?
Well, the original idea
was like a web series, basically.
Do the web series and make, a certain amount of episodes. It was never a movie. It was only because of deal with the company at the time that we had to sort of
make 3 episodes
turn it into a movie. Yeah.
Right.
But absolutely, not only will it sort of lend itself to everything we just said, but also the way that we shoot. So instead of a feature film in 2 to 3 days, we'll knock out a 25-minute episode in 2 to 3 days or 4 days.
That's so nice.
We'll have, it'll be nice and stretched, and we'll have that time to really focus just on this 25-minute thing. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm super excited for it.
When you guys are meeting about the script stuff, when do you think people, aka me, would be able to see?
I would assume after we sort of meet on that, see what the script needs. I'll do the tweaking that I need, and then it'll go out to all you guys, after that.
Yeah, like logistically, I guess I'm thinking like we're going to have to figure out where to shoot it, how to shoot it.
Well, it's going to be Wellsville.
No, sure. I know, but like sets.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm writing to that.
Okay. Yeah.
Would we actually have access to the school there?
Not Wellsville, unfortunately.
No.
I would have to pull. I mean, there would.
Just curious.
Yeah, not Wellsville. I never thought that we would probably. I don't think we would ever be able to shoot at the actual Wellsville school. I think the school in our show is going to have to be something we put together. Unless, and again, that would be going forward. For the pilot, I don't know. For the pilot, we might just fucking go into RIT, and at least do that part of it there. But you better believe in that first pilot, the bowling alley is in it, the skating rink is in it, like
Pizza King,
Pizza Hut. I mean,
Pizza King.
Texas Hot, that's all.
Yeah.
They're going a lot of places in 25 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's got to establish the world,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of characters that are being established.
There are.
Right.
So yeah, but April, you guys will have the script,
Ooh.
and that's something we ain't shooting until October.
October, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some questions because we got a bunch. Chicken Wizard asks, Meredith, what's your favorite non-Heather roles?
I'd say Jill or Phoebe, because they're kind of the same, but LBP or Warlock universe, depending.
I find those characters, the Phoebe and the Jill, is my version of Meredith.
Yeah, I can see that.
You are fun. You are a very fun person. You are totally down for shit, for doing fun shit, adventure-y type shit. Hey, let's go do this. Yeah, that sounds fun. You're a much more pumped up version.
Yeah.
Jill and Phoebe will go above and
jump at the chance.
Yeah, to do whatever the fuck. They're not. I don't particularly find them afraid of anything. They're just headstrong and ready for adventure.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
That's good. Who dat well says he's gone. Have a good day. Have a good day.
See you.
Bye.
Westfield, what is a lost/unfinished film you guys wish would be found or made? Like in this world,
in general,
or like
or...
in like?
I think he just means the LBP. Yeah. since this is LBP.
Everything that we've done pretty much has seen the light of day in some way, hasn't it?
Blood Trim 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But do you want that out?
That
You would?
hilarious.
That was funny.
That
I have only seen it once.
was
at the
so
store.
funny and so gross and so
It's pretty nasty.
extremely over the top. It was the most probably the most insane stuff we shot as far as perversity goes.
Mm-hmm.
I was not there for that one.
No, you were not.
You would have been off in a corner, like not.
I don't know. I mean,
No, she would have been like this.
I think she would have been laughing. She would have been.
Oh, I'm sure I would have laughed, but
so that, I mean, we did something called, it was called Art House. It was called LBP's Art House. And that, we shot a lot of that. Again, Meredith wasn't a part of that.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I might have shown you some footage of that, but this had Ross in it. This had Jesse, Catherine,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kurt. It had Brad Austin. Shit, yeah. I mean, we shot a lot of it. It had Juan. It was fucking weird. It was really weird and bizarre and funny and just odd. And it was called LBP's Art House. And Jesse played like several characters. It was actually the introduction, the first time I had ever written Marge.
Oh. Huh.
And then Marge and Izzy got put into Teen Ape Goes to Camp.
Teen Ape Goes to Camp.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would have been interesting to see put together, but we didn't finish it. But we shot like a lot of it.
Weird.
And there was
it sounds like it was all like local people, so you maybe were like, well, we could shoot this over.
Yeah, I mean, other than Ross, who drove out for it.
And then it just kind of fizzled.
Yeah, I don't know. It has. I mean, Jessie plays Marge for the first time, and she plays the Devil Lady, the
Gwendolyn
from the Blue Cheese.
She plays Gwen for the first time.
Okay.
Bubbles is in it. Yeah, it's so.
Sounds like you got to edit this.
I don't even know if I have all the footage. I think I have one tape.
Huh.
But of course, I don't have the tape that has the sex scene that we shot for that movie, which was ridiculous.
I'm sure.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. We did a thing early on called something like Power Fist Bleeding Taint or something like that, or.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
I remember that.
That was like right after 12 Inches of Dangling Fury. And you weren't in it.
No.
But Doug Sackman came up. Some fans came from Ohio and they were in it. Tari was in it. Jesse Green. Yeah, something Fist Bleeding Taint. And that never got finished. And I do have the footage for that. So maybe, and that's another thing, guys, like throughout the year on this channel, I will be putting up little nuggets, little things that nobody has seen, behind the scenes, like bloopers, extra footage, things like that. I'm going to be doing that for the channel. And the first thing I think going up for that will be the read through of Ski Wolf. It was shot the night before we began shooting Ski Wolf at the ski lodge that we were shooting at, and it's a really fun peek, behind the scenes to see the making of Ski Wolf. So that'll be going up there. Sorry, it was long-winded, guys.
No, that's good. Okay. October Nightmare says, would you all tell me the single funniest moment you can think of in the LBP movies?
The first thing that popped into my head, I mean, that's a hard question because we're laughing kind of constantly.
There's laughing even on shoots. We are.
Oh yeah, totally
Hilarious.
So I can think of two things off the top of my head. One, Josh being Leo DeChamp for the first time in Wet Heat and jumping into the scene where he's trying, and I mean, so it's the first time we see Leo and he's on this board, like I feel like it was like plywood or something, and he was trying to get it to like collapse or something, launch, and he kept like kind of bouncing like it was a train. I mean, it was, I don't know why, but seeing him in that get up for that first time and then doing this weird, like, I don't know, it was so ridiculous. I like lost it. I couldn't even look at him. And then the other thing I think of is Death of Lantern 2. No, yeah, Death of Lantern 2. We're in your kitchen, Chris. And Clint has this line that is just, it's we all could not even get through because I believe you wanted him to say pussy, but pussy.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that took.
It was
an
hour.
Your backyard is a testament to that. The whole elegantly shown, all that stuff. Yeah.
That was another.
Even when I wrote it, I was laughing. But when we shot it, it took Clint forever. And
us.
I think it was like an hour. Yeah,
it was our fault as well.
Right.
Because we were just laughing.
Dying.
I can remember that now.
Oh
God, that was super funny.
Those are the two things that I just automatically thought of. I mean, there's so many, but
two things that pop up for me are when we shot Moist Fury and Billy couldn't get through.
Oh, the Willem Dafoe line.
They look like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
And it took like 27 takes to get him to fucking not laugh.
I think I was mostly just annoyed.
Yeah, you did.
So I didn't think it was that funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then the thing that I remember, I mean, listen, we've made over 60 films and we've laughed our ass off on every single one of these movies, even the shitstorms.
Yeah.
Even the ones we hate. There's something funny. But I remember when we were shooting Film Crew, and it was the introduction to Caspian, where he enters the room for the first time, and I kept telling him to look at us, stare at us, and like kind of bob in, and we had to do that several times, and because we're all just watching him laughing, and there's one point where Josh is doing that, and as he's looking at us, his lip starts to quiver and points to it as he's walking by to his lip quivering. And we all just like, we're losing it, we're losing it.
I think I remember losing it when Josh was telling us the story that is then now a part of Film Crew.
Yeah.
About him pouring soup on some fucking kid's head at a restaurant and then frantically wiping the kid up with a dirty dish towel.
Rag, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that became, oh God, that was great.
What about you, Casey?
So I didn't think of shoots. I can think about that, but I'm actually thinking about my two funny times of movies I watched, LBP movies I watched. And I remember the first time when I watched Filthy McNasty 2, when that dude takes a dump, but it's not a dump. He's like pooping like chocolate into that girl's face or whatever. And I just remember like crying because it was like such a stupid sight gag. And you know what I mean? Like it was just dumb. And every time I see Filthy 2, I always laugh because it's subverted my expectations. So that always makes me super laugh. And then at the end of Geek War, I always like cry laughing because the whole point is to get this tape, and what's on the tape. I just think it's so ridiculous. And I remember and I still remember the first time I saw that, and I'm just crying now, like thinking about it. Like what was on that tape. He had to get it back. So just to know that's the entire point of the movie.
Well, they don't know what's on the tape.
No, I know, but oh my god, yeah.
They just
So
know
the fact
they
that
need it.
Billy is willing to sell it.
Yeah.
The idea was that he had it that much so that he could take that money and leave the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as soon as
$500.
it was 15.
Oh, it was 1,500.
100 bucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why nobody would pay for it, you know?
It's just so expensive.
But his plan was get that money and leave the country.
Yeah, so I mean,
because of the thing that's now being released.
The thing that's on the tape.
Yeah.
Right.
He's an idiot.
He is an idiot. So yeah, like there's many times like we could talk about the shoots, and I have moments, but just thinking as a watcher, because I'm not in either of those.
There's definitely times, where because I would write the way that I write scripts usually is I'll write everything, and I only do I don't do drafts really. It was really only recently that I started doing drafts, but I don't do drafts. I fuck with it as I'm doing it.
Right.
I don't go back. But my thing is, when I'm done, and I don't look at it. So there's times where we'll get on the set and we'll start shooting, and everyone is looking through their script and they know what they're supposed to say, and they'll start to say what their dialogue is, and I'll completely forgot what I wrote, and then I'll just burst out laughing and ruin takes.
Yeah, many times
where you say, I totally forgot I wrote that.
Yeah. And then there'll be times where, I remember specifically stuff with, Meredith as D'Artagnan the Demon, just her voice, her performance, the things that she's saying, and the movement she's doing will make me laugh hard. Certainly, writing those monologues for Casey as Teen Ape and then us trying to do it,
never.
We would laugh so much. We would laugh all the time at just how crazy, gross, ridiculous it was, and him not being able to
I don't think I ever got one right.
Get them right, and his substitute for whatever was supposed to be there never made any sense.
No.
Yeah, so guys, we're laughing through everything,
That's a good question.
But those are yeah.
Chicken Wizard says, I want that Friday the 13th you made.
Which one?
Right.
I made so many backyard Freddy and Jason movies. I would assume the thing you're talking about is
Halloween Night or whatever.
Friday the 13th Halloween Night, which got out there because it was those VHS days, and it got out there, VHS tape trading and things like that, and people, it's out there. I have a version of it on DVD, but I'll never, maybe clips and stuff like that. I'm never going to release the movie, but cool,
People need it.
Cool that you know about that.
Brassfield was like, yeah, in the LBP Warlock world. M Honeycutt says, new LBP Blues. I'm stoked. because I'm catching up. Sean
Yep.
says it sounds awesome, I guess, about the
Everything.
new stuff. And October Nightmare says, thanks for sharing. So hilarious. Thanks for asking that question. It's fun.
Yeah.
Good question.
I feel like I haven't really gotten that question before because I didn't have a go-to answer. So it was good. It's fun.
Yeah.
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 Memory lane.
Good old memory lane.
All right. So, ask anything else, guys. Like we're
I've got about 5 more minutes I can do.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I mean, Casey and I will continue, but
you guys keep going on.
You're really
the only reason people are watching things, right?
Yeah, you're the only reason people are here.
Please.
Talk to Meredith.
Whatever.
Yeah, if you guys have any last minute Meredith.
Don't waste my time with this other crap.
Don't talk to us. Don't give it. We'll poop.
No.
So Meredith.
Yeah.
Let's just say, since you're gonna leave, 30
I'll
years.
be right back.
A legacy. What do you think of all this?
It's crazy that it's.
Here's something.
What?
Did you ever think that in 2002, 19 years later, you would still be here?
Nope. Absolutely not. Well, I remember the first time when you're like, so you want to be in this? And I was like, no. But honestly, the good times made me come back because it was really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I cringe at that first one big time. I cringe at them all, but just because, I feel like we all don't like watching ourselves do anything, but maybe not, maybe you.
I like watching you guys.
Well, I like watching others. I just, it's like a personal thing, right?
Yeah.
But we've come a long way, man. When I think about where, at least when I entered in.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
Once that wave that you came into was established, I mean, it was like
we were making 4 or 5 a year.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
I mean, there's a couple of years where we did 6 a year.
Oh, geez. Well, and then unfortunately, I feel like we really got into our stride right before I moved. So me having to come back and forth a little bit was more challenging. That's why, but yeah.
The fact that
there was some shit going on during that 2002 to 4 that slowed you down a little. And then
the fact that you still in all of
I came back.
Were able to do 30 movies in 30 years. Yeah.
I started when I was 12.
30 movies in 19 years. It's going to be 19 years for you this year.
No, just think if we'd done stuff in the last 5 years, but we haven't.
Yeah, that's all me.
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, we'd be up to 40 by now.
Definitely.
I'm not saying I wanted to do it. Don't worry. No pressure.
Yeah.
We couldn't keep going at that rate.
Nope. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you came on today, Meredith.
Me too.
We'll have to do another live show. I
have to say that I am kind of excited for this Wellsville Nights thing. In that
kind of it.
Well, I don't want to be I'm gung-ho. I don't know. I'm wording it wrong, but it's an intriguing.
You're hopeful about it.
Intriguing.
Are you still okay with that character as opposed to the
I think it's more fitting. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that the one that you plugged me in for, we're talking very cryptically right now, but is more fitting than the other alternative. Although I feel like I could have done both, but
definitely.
The one that I'm in, I think, is more my wheelhouse.
Yeah. There's going to be some. There's going to have to be some casting.
There's a couple of open spaces.
Two. Yeah. Interesting.
So that's going to pose a challenge because we are always so good with casting. It's like,
Well,
do we have access to people?
I think when we can talk a little bit more candidly about it after we get through the first script and
Yeah.
know what's going on, then we have to. So maybe one of you watchers will audition.
Ooh.
Send in your Zoom tapes.
All you, there's plethora of female.
I think there's 4
Yeah.
out of the 1,200. We've got 4 female followers on here, but any last words, Meredith? Because I know you got to go.
I don't know, man. 30 years. Wow. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's very stubborn.
And yeah, it's good. You know what you know what you wanted to do, and you've done it.
In the last 20 years, can you think that you have followers and people who know you outside of like your job and that kind of stuff? Like, is it shocking?
No one's
to you?
ever said anything to me. Like, I've never. You in person?
To me.
Oh,
not like in the weird way. I'm just saying in general. Haven't you ever been out and someone recognized you and said, "Hey,
no,
really?
Never.
I didn't know
it's
that.
happened to you. It's never happened.
Oh my
to me.
Gosh. Mm-mm. Okay.
Unless we're at like a convention sitting at the table.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's never happened to me.
Well, is it still weird to you that you have people who know you and are into your stuff?
Yeah, it is weird.
Hasn't anyone bought your ceramics and said, "Hey, I saw you in this movie. That's why I looked you up and I found you"?
No, you all are cheap bastards. Buy stuff.
I actually know fans. I do know of fans who have talked to me and said they've bought your stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I guess I would have assumed they would have been like, "Hey."
There's been maybe a couple that were like, "Hey, I got a thing," and blah blah blah, like Folded Pigs or whatever, because it's a little more like horror movie themed. So that's cool. Yeah. But people aren't as open. I get a message every once in a while, but it's different if you were to like walk down a street and someone's like, "Hey," like that's never happened. And I don't think it ever would.
Interesting. It has to me.
I don't know.
It has to Casey.
I know, and it has to Casey. I know.
It has to some of the other folk. Yeah. Maybe they're just afraid to.
I don't know. Maybe it's one of those situations where it's like, is it? I don't know.
Because they all think you're so gorgeous.
Please.
And they'd rather, look at you from behind a brick wall.
They'd rather email you about it.
Yes. 100%. Y'all are creeps.
Not all of you, actually.
Not all of you.
Just small, very small.
And if you have purchased something for me, thank you very much.
There you go.
Here's something.
I appreciate it.
Here's something before you go. Do you miss the conventions? Is there ever a time?
Yeah, because conventions, sure. Because, I mean, in my normal line of work, right? Like, I will sell like my stuff at craft fairs and art fairs and stuff like that, and it's like this interaction with people, and same thing at a convention. I don't know, I think that's a strong suit of mine, so, and I like it. The only thing that was always stressful about the conventions was the actual screening, or it would be like, oh my god, I hope people laugh. That's all I care, is I hope people laugh. And then, like, especially at Cinema Wasteland, if Pete wasn't there, I would like start freaking out because do we call him the Laughing Man? I can't remember. Yeah. Laughing Man, because we could count on Pete. And funny thing, when I was in grad school, I would see Pete more because same location, and it's like knew him anyway. I'm like, laughing guy.
It definitely, yeah. I mean, but I really do miss. I mean, we were a force. Yes, we were something else. We were a force, and we were really liked. People People came to
I
the
think
show.
you really liked us or you hated it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
One or the other. It was some of the sales tactics were not things I normally would use.
Then you're doing it wrong.
There was definitely a stressful excitement going into midnight.
Yes,
at our show.
for the screenings, right?
Because for those who don't know, we not only would we do the conventions, but there would also be a slot for us every Friday night at midnight of the show to premiere inevitably our newest film
that we finished the week before. No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so it would be like a first time anybody would see this stuff, and it was always standing room only. The place was packed to watch LBP, you know. So there was like a stress, a worry of like, man, do you remember this? Do you remember most of our screenings were great. Like,
yes.
Great, and people would flip out. But there was one time.
Oh no.
And you were there. We premiered Ghoulish Chronicles of Bonejack High.
Mm-hmm.
Barely anybody laughed at the screening. The screening was packed.
Wow.
Barely anybody laughed.
Pete wasn't there, was he?
I don't know. But it was so bizarre. It was really weird. And then the next day, we sold out of all of Ghoulish Chronicles of Bonejack High.
What? That's weird. Yeah, I kind of, now that you've mentioned it, we were like, what happened?
Yeah.
Why are no laughing?
For me, it was probably the worst screening we ever had. But then it was gone the next day. Like everyone just like, woo, you know? Or we heard people, that was a great movie. Great movie.
And you're like, didn't seem like it.
Yeah. Where were you?
Yeah. Did you just hear about it? Were you there?
Hey, whatever, you sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Days, you know?
You can't win them all. But hey, you won it. So it's fine. People still bought it. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
To do like a,
so yes, I do miss the conventions every now and then.
Yeah. I would like to do it again.
Think of them fondly.
There were good times. Good times. Karaoke. It was crazy. It was, going to haunted houses and meeting crazy fans and fans who wanted to bone you left and right. It was great.
That is.
Penis
I did not. Yes, we do. I remember crocheting those. I don't recall that other part, but
tip mug.
What's that?
Titty mug.
Yes. Good old days. Well, on that note, I really do have to leave.
Thank you so much, Meredith, for
lovely to see you
on the show. It's nice to see you too. We love you.
Thank you for going down memory lane.
Can I just click leave studio? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just get out of here? All right. Bye.
Bye.
Let me catch up on the chat.
Jimmy.
Adam Wright says,
"Stoink, good people who just missed Meredith."
No, he's been in here. I'm catching up. He says, "You helped me appreciate corn chip beef on toes between his toes."
Between his toes. Oh, I'm sure.
Who's this? VW3135. Okay. How did you end up on Netflix, and do you felt it helped you a lot in those early days?
I have zero idea. Here's the thing. So once I make a movie for a company, that's it. I have no more sort of connection with it whatsoever, unfortunately. So whatever deals are made with that company in the particular movie, that's with them. I wasn't very privy to any of that stuff. I never made money from that stuff. Like people must think that I make money or something like that. Like I never made money from this shit, like if you think about like the money spent making the films and then the return, very few times did we actually make money, you know. So online streaming, online sales, anything like that, I never saw a penny. And that was because the upfront deals for those movies, for me, were going to be far better than the long run. So unfortunately, there was a particular movie that did very well for a company, and I didn't see a dime for it. But that's, listen, that's nobody's fault other than mine for taking the upfront deal. So the Netflix stuff was through that particular company, and I don't know how many movies ended up on Netflix, both streaming and DVD rental. And it wasn't just for Netflix. It was all these other, it was all over the place. And still you can find like remnants of that because of the companies that own my films. So I don't know. And did it help? I think so. It probably, destroyed it as well in some people's minds, but I definitely got an influx of people who would say, "Hey, I discovered you from Netflix." So that for sure helped, and our fan base grew exponentially. There's a lot of people who say, I discovered this, or I saw that, or I still get people who say,
Taint light. It's all taint light.
Well, I get people who say Malva and Filthy because of the Media Play days.
Because that Ghoul pack or whatever it was,
disc at Media Play.
Yeah,
and that's how I saw your stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers your question.
M Honeycutt says, I hope the TV series will get a physical release too. We hope the TV series will get an actual release, yes, out into the world for everybody.
The hope is that we can get a streaming service or a network, a cable network, not a ABC, CBS. None of that. Our hope is that.
My God, that'd be hilarious.
I think the goal right now is Adult Swim.
So for both the things that are getting developed, worked on this year, it's to go a little bit different than what we've done before in the past, as far as just release it ourselves or release it through a smaller distribution company. We're doing it a little bit differently. So yeah, like Chris said, I think especially with Wellsville Nights, I think we could do it and still put it out ourselves if that's what it comes down to, like after we try to do it a different way.
I could see it definitely as being our web show.
Yeah, I think we would probably, I was thinking about it when you said it, I was like, well, if we took like a week and we shot all the scenes in the school and then all the scenes at the thing for the whole season.
Yeah.
I think we could do it over a week.
For sure.
Because it's not that, if they're 25-minute episodes or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think we could do it, but we don't want to, at least not yet. So, yeah, it'd be cool if it gets a physical release, but not before it hits, Adult Swim or Netflix or whatever. You know what I mean? Something different.
We'll see.
We will see. Yeah, guys, ask any other questions that you have. We're here, we'll talk to you.
Yeah, man.
About all the things.
Yeah. I have to pee.
Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Tape it. Bring your camera. So yeah, I think over the last 30 years, and I've been in almost the last 30 years, maybe 25 years or so. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. And like Chris said, this year's big because we do want to release some little nuggets, stuff that hasn't been seen the light of day for a while, whether it's a full video or if it's just like some little parts that Chris will put out on the channel. For the stuff that we can't officially talk about all the way, there's going to be later Blu-ray releases with new extras, new commentaries. We're really excited for that, and we're really excited when we can officially talk about those releases. But you guys, some movies that haven't been seen officially, and obviously Blu-ray being huge because a lot of the stuff has been on VHS and DVD only. And I know we've been talking a lot about LBP, but like, do you want to talk about maybe the transition between LBP to Warlock?
Sure.
Because we haven't even really talked about Warlock.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the big.
I didn't know it was 10 years. I guess I don't know why I didn't think about it.
Yeah, it wasn't until Meredith and I we did a Crapster piece on Death o' Lantern.
Right.
Talking about it, and we were like, oh.
It's another anniversary.
Yeah, another one. So,
huge.
Yeah.
Or even the Warlock itself. as a being, as a transcendental being.
So I closed, I wanted to shut down LBP in after 20 years because I was getting burnt out. It wasn't fun anymore. It felt like a job, and it wasn't bringing me joy. I loved everybody. I mean, the group is the group, they're family. So I love everyone. And the idea was to just do something just for fun, just to have that feeling of when I was making those dumb movies in my backyard with an over-the-shoulder VHS video camera. And furthermore, sort of putting it under the guise of an old company that, went out of business in the early 90s. But they were like one of the biggest, like, shot on video, direct to video companies out there. And somebody had found the stuff in a warehouse and decided to re-release the material on special edition, like DVDs and VHS and stuff like that. And, to go along with a lot of those titles, those names from back in the day, Warlock Home Video just sounded perfect for that type of shit. And then the idea of the Warlock was sprung from, horror hosts and the Video Zone type stuff that would show up on full moon movies, or some of those shot on video movies where there would be the voice or an intro to what you were about to see. And certainly with, later in the 90s, late 90s, there was like Brain Damage Films who had that dude, the owner, who was like, greetings. And he wore a leather jacket and had the spiked hair and the glasses, and everything was just brutal and savage and banned. And so that would be Andrew and I reminiscing and joking about that stuff, because we, it was a part of that stuff and we enjoyed it. So we wanted to have the Warlock. He was the mascot. The Warlock was the mascot of Warlock Home Video. And then there was a trailer for this shot on video movie called The Burning Moon. And the voice, the announcer on the trailer, sounded like that. And he was just, so stupid and over the top. And, I guess that's supposed to be creepy and scary for people. And, Andrew has a low voice, and it was perfect to do that and shroud him in the cloak, the Warlock cloak, and that just, he would introduce every film, and we would shoot as if it was the 80s or 90s, and we'd shoot on video, we'd shoot with proper attire, you know, the lingo, all that stuff. And that's the whole Warlock thing. And then we did that, and it was really awesome. And people like bought it. People thought that it was a real, like, oh, I remember this company from back in the day.
Yeah.
People would say, oh, I saw this movie. I used to have this movie, blah blah blah. And they're like, this is hilarious because we just made this movie. And part of the selling was, you know, we had a guy named Jeff Sisson who'd do all the art for us to emulate all the art from back then, because the art on those boxes was the primary reason people were renting those movies, because the art was phenomenal. And you were like, holy shit, is this what the movie's going to be?
Yeah.
The movie was terrible.
No.
And that's what we went for.
Yeah.
Terrible dialogue, terrible acting, bad editing, you know, shitty effects, all that stuff, leaving mistakes in.
Yep.
Things like that. And it was so fun. And the more that we did of those, the more I was like, you know what? I do miss like the clean stuff, the more the budget stuff, where we did put some time and effort into it. And so the thought there was, well, what if Warlock said, now we're going to make some movies that are now, you know, like we're going to do modern movies for you fans of this stuff. And that's where Sex Squatch came in, and Phantom of the Grindhouse, all that stuff. But interweaving the 1986 Death o' Lantern or you know, Dingleberries or whatever it was, Stoinky Beach, you know, things like that. So, and we came up with all these ridiculous names that were very similar to those names, and it was awesome. And we've, you know, been doing it for 10 years under Warlock Home Video. You know, the transition was a little different, but for the most part, it went from like LBP and that world into Warlock and that world.
Yeah.
Very few characters intertwined. And if they did, it was because I really love writing those characters. So Deathbone, Leo, things like that, you know, it carried on through Warlock. So yeah, you know. So 2011,
yeah,
when we got like a whole new group of people to join the team, you know.
Who?
Well, we got Clint.
Oh.
We got Jamie.
Okay.
You know, Alec really became Alec, you know, even though Alec had been with us since 2009.
He became Alec. Yeah.
Well, really?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about the way Alec was.
I know he was.
And then
I know.
Alec that he became.
He's grown up.
He's one of the breakout stars of Warlock for sure. You know.
Yeah.
But that new groove, you know.
I guess I never thought because it's been 10 years.
Yeah, we added fresh meat and
right. Yeah.
You know, some of the group started taking on new characters, and yeah, it's cool. It's fun, you know. I mean, you became Stingy Jack.
I was gonna ask, what is the Weirds he's under? Is it under LBP or is it under Warlock?
It was under. Remember, when you know, this is when the betrayal started happening, and Clint and I were going to start Midnight Kids Productions.
Gotcha.
And then he royally betrayed me, and that was that.
Okay.
So what it's going to be under now is LBP/Warlock.
Okay.
For this new release. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I couldn't remember because it was like a blending kind of the.
Yeah, I mean, really, it should have been Warlock Home Video.
Right. So do you want to make any other Warlock movies?
I do.
Like straight up VHS with the, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have ideas. We have the shingles that we want to do.
Yeah.
Death o' Lantern 3.
Mm-hmm. 3D.
I mean, the idea with Death of Lantern was always that was going to be our Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So, we could make them up to like 13 if we wanted. Cindy Jack was always going to come back, and and I think that's the case. So,
Yeah.
absolutely, I would still love to do a Warlock proper,
Yeah.
VHS. Stopper, My Mom's a Mummy.
Yeah.
Blood from a Minotaur's Skull.
Yeah, I remember
All that dumb
10
shit.
years
Bloodscape
ago.
88.
Yeah.
You know?
Sean says, man, I love the Weirdsies.
As do I, Sean.
Good, Sean. Yeah. What do you appreciate making more though? Warlock or LBP? Like, what goes into writing a script for Warlock versus a LBP script?
I put unwarranted pressure on myself for LBP.
Yeah.
Or a budgeted film.
Yeah.
With the Warlock proper, with the VHS shot Warlock, it doesn't matter. It's all just pure cheese and comedy, and I don't care what I'm writing.
Right.
Because it's on brand.
Yeah.
As the saying went with all of us, who cares? It's Warlock. You know what I mean? Like that was great. It was freeing. It was fun. And ultimately, we always ended up with a really entertaining piece of thing. We had a movie. We had a movie with these Warlocks, and they're fucking funny. They were great, and they worked, and they felt with the time.
Yep.
Very authentic, I thought.
Yeah, I agree.
Think about Death of Lantern 1. Think about Happy Holidays and Dingleberries and Stoinky Beach.
Yeah.
Like they work, man. They work for what they're supposed to be.
Right. Yeah, I think making another Weirdsies would be, or not Weirdsies. Making another Warlock would be fun. I was thinking Weirdsies because that was also a very fun shoot, but also a good shoot.
Yeah.
And I think people really enjoy it when they watch it. So I'm excited I'm excited that it's going to get wider release.
The Weirdsies, yes.
Yes.
Finally.
Or an actual release, I guess.
2015.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Last real, Death of Lantern, the remake was 2016, but I never count that.
It's
shot with a real camera. It's probably
it's the best
looking. Yeah.
We had 3 different cameras for that movie. 2 people shooting. It looks the best, but it's definitely not the best. So I still count Warlock as the last actual thing we did. Weirdsies.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. The longest stretch I've ever had, really.
Well, you shot the year before, but you didn't.
You mean in 2016 or 20?
No. In 2019.
In 2019, we did that short. Which was fine. It was fine. But and you can get that on the Stoinky Saga release.
There you go.
But yeah, as far as an actual feature that meant something, 2015 was really the last thing we did as a collective that matters.
Until 2021.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's
and really everyone is in it.
Good.
Everybody.
Good. Is everyone excited about the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Everyone thinks it's great. For both that and Radikill. I have not gotten any negativity for either. You know, they're both solid
Ideas.
and I think they're both. I think they're two things that 100% need to be executed. You know, like
Murdered.
no, you know what I mean.
No, I know.
Don't trail off.
Sorry, this question. Chicken Wizard goes, was Casey Gandhi in Bloody Bobby 2?
No.
I wasn't.
That was actually my friend Dave, who played Gandhi. And we put Gandhi in a couple movies back then where he was a fierce warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Dave. And we put like a bald cap on him.
Who's seen Bloody... Who's Chicken Wizard?
This has to be... I don't know. This has to be Leo. Because he's the only one who has like some of that really, really early footage.
Okay.
You know, which I would love to get back just to digitize.
Yeah, if you want to give us that, or reach out to Chris.
I would love to, because it literally was the only stuff I had on VHS. If Chicken Wizard is Uberfan Leo, who I gave the name Leo because of him.
Really? Nice.
Josh, yeah.
Yeah.
If that's Chicken Wizard. If not, then I don't know how you got Bloody Bobby 2 footage at all.
It's Brad Goff, I think.
He's still in my heart. I will.
Gooch says, I've never seen any of your movies, but I found the Weirdsies on YouTube. I'm going to give it a watch. Are you going to have to pull that?
I do have to take it down. So
yeah.
The Gooch, if you're going to watch the Weirdsies, watch it.
Watch it now.
Watch it now on my channel. Because it's going. It's finally getting a real release. So
do you ever want, I think I've asked you this, but do you ever want to remake one of the phase 1 things? Or bring them to the, and Chicken Wizard says I'm not that guy, unfortunately.
Huh.
Well, can you still reach out to Chris, warlockhomevideo@gmail.com? And
I mean, if you have
some of that stuff,
because
then we can put it up on the site or on the page or whatever.
I don't know. Think about those early films. You know, what would you want to redo? You know,
I don't know. I mean, like, I think the idea of Meter Man is funny enough that it would be to see a new one with a new cast, or
I guess that could work.
Bloody
Bobby?
No.
Bloody nipples?
Yes. Where's Fred's the Ska Salesman? That one?
Yeah, that was the anthology series.
Right. So that, I think could do it. I actually think, even though I always joke about this, I actually think Commando Kids would be fun.
With actual kids?
Well, with actual kids would be funny, yeah. But just a straight up gore fest, because you just don't, or maybe you see it somewhere, but I don't know. It'd be funny. Yeah. Gooch is gonna watch it today. Oh wait, I saw Bloody Bobby 2 footage on my DVD from Dusk Till Dawn remake.
Okay. Parody from Almost Night to Almost Day. Okay.
So that's on Sievage Lost.
Yeah, so
Chronicles or whatever it is.
I forgot I even put Bloody Bobby 2 footage on there.
You might have put like a trailer of old LBP stuff, and maybe it's on there.
Yeah, but how would he know Gandhi?
Because he's in the footage of him like getting electrocuted with the
who
Christmas
would be like, yeah, this is Gandhi.
I mean, it kind of looks like Gandhi.
No, it doesn't. All you see is like a head with like shit and blood all over him.
But you see with the bald cap and the glasses, it's Gandhi enough.
That's a great observation.
Right.
If you're like, yeah, Gandhi.
The Gooch is going to watch Weirdsies today, he said.
Yeah, do it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do, yeah. I forgot.
Do you have those old scripts?
Of what? Like Meter Man and all that stuff? No.
Okay.
Nope. I think the oldest script I have from back before the Mulva days. Oh, I have Anal Paprika.
Okay.
I have the original on pad of yellow paper, the original script for that.
Okay.
Because it was written on a pad.
I'm sure it was.
I think the earliest thing I have was that Turtles movie I told you about.
Okay.
The Turtles script that I made while part 2 was about to come out.
Well, then that's super old. That's 30 years.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, but oddly enough, I don't have, the Bloody Bobbies or the Meter Man or any of that stuff. I would love to see it, going back, like reading how terrible it was then.
Yeah. I think it would be fun to do some read-throughs on some of these real old ones.
Well,
I guess even as old as, even those days. Now, I wonder what we would.
Rereading Scrotal Vengeance.
I know I have Filthy McNasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, the anals would be funny to do. The anal. We could probably read the anal trilogy in like an hour or two.
That's one thing that is coming out from us, and you're probably only going to be able to get it from us or at a convention, and that is the Anal Paprika films 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray. Our buddy Zach is putting that together, and
I need that.
Remastered the 3 Anal Paprika movies in 4K. In 4K and then downscaled to 1080.
Right.
Shot on VHS. But they look good, Do
they?
And really, he's just waiting for us to do the extras.
Okay. Well, we've got a lot of work to do this year.
Yeah. I think your vacation in April is going to be...
I know. It's going to be all LBP.
Working on some LBP stuff.
I'll probably be writing episodes of, Wellsville Nights, actually. Probably be doing that, too.
Right. All 3 of us.
Yeah. Geez. Yeah, that'd be good. So, yeah, if you guys are Anal Paprika fans, there are people who are.
99 to 2001.
A
trilogy of like no other.
We've got a few more minutes, guys, or whatever. Just talk to us. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I was going to ask, what's your, I guess, like, I don't know, weirdest experience, or like, what's a time you remember meeting a fan? You know what I mean? Or like something like that. Like a time that sticks out to you, good or bad, of meeting a fan. Yeah, Sean says they need a Blu-ray. I needs that Blu-ray.
The best times are always, for me, are always at the shows. Because you get to meet so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone is usually so amazing and just genuine, and it like surprises me, and it I can think of times where I had gone to like non-horror conventions and being stopped and hey,
Receiver.
Yeah, and I love your movies. And I remember with Katie once, and this was probably like the first time where she ever was like
believed you.
Yeah, gave any sort of like, okay, maybe people do know who you are.
Yeah.
But we were in I can't even remember where we were, but we were at a convention. It was a sci-fi comic convention.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they knew I was going to be there, other than maybe me saying, "Hey, we're going off to this convention." I wasn't promoting anything. I wasn't like, "Hey, if you want to,"
just like on Facebook, you're like, "I'm
yeah,
going
probably
to whatever,"
something like that. So this was like 2013, maybe, or 14, maybe 13. But I remember twice at that convention, somebody stopping, and the second guy had something. He had like a DVD. And he was like, "Hey man, will you sign this DVD?" I was
Yeah.
like, "What?" Oh, it wasn't the DVD. He was wearing an LBP shirt. And he wanted me to sign the shirt. So I signed the shirt. And that was really cool. That was like, I remember, and she was like, maybe people do know. She just is so like, doesn't even want to believe that anyone could like my movies, it just because she doesn't, obviously the time where I had my name tattooed on people was crazy. That one time that I've talked about before.
I wonder if they've removed it.
I don't know. I bet they have. That was a long time ago. I don't know if they're fans anymore. Probably like, ugh.
Maybe it's Chicken Wizard.
They tattooed other things over it.
Yeah.
But that one time where I went into a bathroom, remember I've told you about this, and the dude walked up in a stall next to me and was peeing, and then looked right at me and goes, "Hey, you're Chris Seaver, aren't you?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he goes, "Dude, your movies transcended." And that was like a weird, all right, dude. I laughed. I was like, let me finish this pee.
Yeah.
But mostly I think it's all the fan stuff at shows. That's always very humbling because you get to see them, and you get to actually see the people you are entertaining.
Yeah.
So that's always the best.
Matt Martin's. Oh, what?
That one where you have talked about, where you're at a show, a concert, and they were eyeballing you from across the way.
Yeah.
That was, that's all that stuff is fun. It's got to be really cool.
Yeah. Matt, hey Matt, man, he says, super late coming in. I work nights and difficult for me to work or wake up.
No problem, man. You missed. I mean, we're gonna be ending. You missed Meredith, but that's okay. You can watch this.
Rewatch it.
Speaking of Matt, I do want to bring this up, folks. So Matt Martin, is on social media. I only have Instagram and Facebook, and that is it. Crept from the 80s on both Instagram and Facebook, and Chris Seaver as far as Facebook is concerned. There's no TikToks, there's no Instagrams, and there's no Facebooks of me doing LBP or Teen Ape. That is this individual who popped in.
That's who does this?
Just now is this Matt Martin guy. So folks out there on Instagram, TikTok, I don't know if there's Twitter.
Definitely going to rewatch. Okay, good, man.
But also Facebook's. Anytime you see Teen Ape out there posting stuff, that is not me. That is this guy Matt, who took it upon himself to start all these sites to promote LBP and Warlock. And it's awesome. It's very humbling. And he did it a couple of years ago. But I remember I would always get messages from people saying, I love that you're promoting Teen Ape and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? This is not me. I wasn't angry. I was just like, who the fuck is doing that?
Yeah.
You know? So I did reach out to him and I found out who it was. And yeah, he just loves what we're doing and loves the stuff and loves Teen Ape. And so, guys, if you want to follow Teen Ape on Instagram, Teen Ape on Twitter, I guess if there's a Twitter, Teen Ape on TikTok,
Yeah.
Teen Ape on Facebook.
Yep.
Please go check him out. Matt Martin, if you want to put your stuff in the comments, please do. But they're very funny. He is constantly promoting. He takes clips and makes his own memes and videos and stuff like that. He'll take, he'll do his own like photoshopping of Teen Ape. And Casey, this is crazy. I just found out 2 days ago that Matt tracked down the original Planet of the Apes mask that Teen Ape was from.
Yeah.
And he made his own Teen Ape mask.
Really?
He cut the big part out, which
yeah. The Judge Anguish.
He found it, and he ordered him a wig.
Yeah.
And he's going to do his own pictures for the TikToks and the all that stuff. He has permission if he can do that. And I was like, that is crazy.
That's awesome.
That's crazy because in the time that we were going to continue doing certain things with Teen Ape, I could never find that mask ever. And I looked, and so we have looked. We had to have somebody recreate the mask for us. But this is the Planet of the Apes mask that we used, that I started using in 1998 for this. Yeah. He cut it out. It's crazy.
Everything's /Teen Ape or teen_ape. So yeah, just look up Teen Ape on social medias, guys.
Yeah, because it's funny, and please follow it. And he's going to continue to do that. He's going to promote that way. And certainly it's wonderful in this 30th anniversary.
Yeah. He said there's another on eBay. And then real quick, VW says, I remember seeing Teen Ape in costume at Monster Mania just like a couple of days after discovering your movies online. Hilariously thrilling, and I remember wishing I had a camera at the time. Was that you, probably?
That was Kurt. Kurt's playing Teen Ape, because at a lot of shows where Casey just stopped going to conventions because he's not cool anymore.
No.
We would bring out Teen Ape. And so sometimes in the early days, it was Casey.
For sure.
But later days where he was just like, I'm too cool for horror, he stopped going to the shows, and we had to have somebody in the Teen Ape outfit. So
I don't even know why I stopped going, to be quite honest with you.
For school. And so it was either Kurt
or you, or
I didn't do it at the shows. I did it like maybe once. I remember even one time we had Budnick play Teen Ape, and you could see like his long hair out of the thing. Or Matt Meister, the Maestro, he would play Teen Ape at shows. So it was probably Kurt. If you saw it at Monster Mania, it was definitely Kurt.
Yeah.
So but that's great. That's awesome that Teen Ape can have that effect on you.
Yeah.
Such a remembrance.
He's a real pivotal character during this Me Too movement. Real champion.
Yes. We should really bring him out.
You know what though? Teen Ape
champion Me Too.
He could have probably not grown as an individual. So no, he'd probably be like,
I feel like at least he kind of did. And that was my feeling going into Wet Heat, was that, all right, if this was going to be the last, we're going to give you perverts, Teen Ape Goes to Camp, and the other people who appreciate other things. And that was sort of the last Teen Ape go round. I guess we brought it back for Sex Squatch, but that's an abomination. Teen Ape versus Sex Squatch is something that we
I feel like I watched it once and then I quickly forgot that it ever existed.
Yeah.
I don't want to end on a low note. So, any last 30th? Yeah, good timing. Any last? My kid just woke up. Last 30th anniversary stuff.
Listen, guys. I mean, there's going to be plenty of stuff to look forward to this year. If you were a fan of the movies, for both LBP and Warlock, we got a lot of fun stuff coming here on the channel, and then out in the ether. There's lots of stuff coming. So, yeah, it's just been a blast, and we will be doing these live shows, of course. Crept from the 80s centric as well, and we got a little fan coming in, but we will.
She's like, "What is going on? I love Teen Ape."
Hey, Kira.
I can't wait to explain that to her when she's old enough.
I know.
This is who your dad is.
Little
yes,
cousin Kira.
Hit subscribe. Hit like the bell button. All that. Share it with your friends.
Comment,
please.
Know, this video is going to be up there for people to watch after the fact. So let us know your intro to LBP. And that was it. So
thank you, guys.
Keep watching everything. All of our sites. Bye, Kira.
She said bye.
All right. So that's it, guys.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you for joining us. Bye.